Ah, the world of mods. To make your life that little bit easier within games, there are people out there who help develop things that we can use to make our everyday life in games that little bit better. And today is no different. This is Hydroneer Mod Squad, or Mod Section at least. So the ones that I'm going to be running through today are basically quality of life mods. These are things that you can download now if you join the Hydroneer Discord. There's a link in the description box below. From there you'll be able to join the community, talk about mods and talk about everything else that everybody else is talking about within this game. But today I'm going to be showing you a handful of the stuff that makes your life a little bit easier and making it a little bit more decorative as well. So first off, I want to get on with the decorative parts. Now as you can see, we have now got 3 different sizes of flooring. We've got this giant piece of metal flooring, the normal 4 square flooring, and then the 1 square flooring. We've got these wood frames, which is a bit like having windows, just with nothing in the middle, so you can frame off your machines and be happy. We've got this old school sort of wooden post where instead of just using like metal banisters, you can now just use wood ones. Or if you do just want to go full metal, you can actually just have now full metal banisters and full metal bits. This is the Hydroneer logo, by the way. And metal stairs. Now if you do want to go for that proper industrial look, I actually like this. This is really cool. For me, I think it's just a little bit too white. But, I mean, dirty, grey and horrible, it's not too bad. It just needs a little bit more texturing, but I think from there, you get the sort of point. It's more of an industrial sort of look. Now let's get on to the mods that make our games that little bit more easier to deal with. Now we'll get on with the boring ones first. Number 1, the funnel extender and the deletion mod. Now the funnel extender basically does what it says on the box. It extends the funnel. So the funnel that we standardly get in the game now, which basically funnels stuff in from the top to the bottom, we can now put the extender on, so you can now feed more directly onto a conveyor belt, which is all good. And from there, it just basically makes less mess, and that's all good. The deletion mod. Now, if you remember the old school funnel that we used to have in 1.2, the modder called Helios basically decided he was going to make something of the old one. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show it in work. So give me a second, let me just get rid of all my bits and pieces laying around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this works by turning on one of my machines. This is just a little project I've been putting together over the time. So here we go. So that's all on. That's all on. Okay, so with my machine now working, we'll slowly get some gems coming through. There we go, some bits coming. And as you can see, things go in, but they just get deleted. And this is what we like. We like this because at the end of the day, it helps us sort of sort out our own stuff. So the deletion mod is something I would highly recommend if you're into the whole like modding side of things and the joys of the world, I suppose. Now we're going to come to the 2 things that I've put together an entire plant to show this working. This is a gem cutter. You basically add it to a conveyor belt, you pipe it in as normal like everything else. And basically what this does is it cuts gems to make them perfect gems and not just bare necessity gems that you would have all the dirt and all the crud laying around. And this is the Hydroneer sorter. Now, we all know that the old sorters were a little bit limited. Okay, so this is the old school sorter, the one that Max put into the game at the beginning of the game to give us something that we can sort all our gems out with. And with this, it is pointed at gems, so every gem will go back here. This will go through the cutter, which basically makes gems. We don't have to mess around cleaning them all up. It does it for us, which is all good, which is why I'm putting them into individual categories. Now, on here we have got sapphire, we've got emerald, and we have got rubies. Rubies will come out to the left, and if you scroll through the menu, uncut rubies will go to the right. But as I'm not going to do uncut ones, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so when it comes to the new sorter, you'll select one of these items, and you can either pass it through, which basically goes on to the next belt. It can come out the left hand side, or it can go out the right hand side, basically extending what we have on here. So if you look at the shard one, I've got shards to go to the left, and that would go into my main sorter down there, as you can see, well, my main funnel. And then if I go back to shard bars, and let's say I did put a shard bar through there, it would come out this side. And this basically lets you have extra options when it comes to doing this as a whole now. So what I could do, if I really wanted to, I could have shards come out the left hand side, and then I could have uncut emeralds come out the right hand side if I just wanted to group everything through. And this would basically shove uncut emeralds out the right hand side, so out of this door going onto the floor, and then everything else gets passed through to the next conveyor. So it makes our lives that little bit easier. But you do have to set it up each time, because for some reason it resets to iron ore, like always pointing left. So apart from that, it's all good. I mean, that's literally how this works. And so the hydronic stuff is really good, and it sorts your plant out. So yeah, here we go. Shards go through, and then everything else gets like potted through to the next one. Like I said, I could have it so iron ore comes out the left-hand side. So instead of using like 2 sorters, I could just use one to sort out 3 different items. Or I could have another one behind it and sort out the next layer behind that as well. Now, when it comes over to the gems, we're just going to wait for a gem to come through. There's a gem. It's been cut. Goes through to the emerald one. And then we get emeralds cut as well. So what you would do after this is you'd basically take 3 pots to the seller, and you'd sell all 3 pots, and it'd all be different. Or depending if you want to make specific jewelry, you can do that now with this. So basically, the hydronic stuff is literally the people who created it called themselves Hydronic. They made their own look to make it look like it actually fits into the game, and in fairness, it does. The plus side to these is you can do whatever you like with these, as long as obviously within the laws of physics and the laws of this game at least, but you can attach all different conveyor belts to the back ends. Okay, and the final mod that I'm going to walk you through is the table saw. So what you do is you take a bar, can be gold, can be metal, can be anything, stick bar or gold or whatever onto said area, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do 10. Okay, and what we do here is we push the little button here. Oh, we've got to turn it on. Special. Okay, we're going to turn on the blade. As you can see, the blade does turn just a little bit. Obviously, you can sort of power this up with the same way as you would any other machine to make it spin faster. But as you can see, so now that bar should weigh 10 gold, or 10 in weight. So if you're building like Cloutium bars, or for the resource extension thing that we all have, then this is one of the best things you can do. I mean, this just basically means you can just keep skinning bars until, well, whenever. I mean, you could technically build a house now out of bars of gold, because they just keep coming. And yeah, so that would be for 10 for every single one. So all those are 10, right? If we up it to 20, there we go. Now we just made a 20 bar. And they all may look the same, but, you know, they're not. That's the plus side. Which weighs 1,100. But it's a big bar, so we could have cut that out for that. This should be the 21, so this should be bang on 20. Bang on 20 weight, 400. All good. And these should all be 10. You basically take this and you build whatever size you need. And that's why the table saw is probably one of the best mods that we've got within the game. Personally, I actually prefer the sorters, but this is just because it's me. And at the end of the day, I've just got my own preferences, and you may have yours. So if you are going to be using mods, you know, this is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, there is plans to have more mods within this game, and the modding community will only get stronger as this game goes forth and becomes more and more completed. But at the same time, this is just early days. We're looking at this as a whole new extension to the game, and going by what the developer has been saying about this, these mods will eventually become part of the game. We're just not sure when. And then I've also heard that it was one of his dev vlogs that he's probably going to be looking at mod support in the future, but at the moment nothing is set in stone, because he just wants the game completed first, and then we can go from there. But so yeah, if you do want any of these mods, down in the description box below there is a link to the Hydroneer Discord. You can now get this stuff, and it's all good, and they work as well. They have been under a little bit of testing, but they going by what I've seen and what I've read about, these mods are working 100% now. So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have liked this video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and notifications button below for all other updates, and I'll be back here with a brand new video, live stream, or whatever else I do on this channel. Until then, guys, peace out, have fun, and enjoy everything you guys do. And yeah, if you did like this video, it'd be awesome to hear your thoughts of what you would like in the game. Also, if you do want to put your suggestions through, join the Discord and do it there, and people will listen to you. So thank you very much for joining me. Bye bye for now.